You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
I'm here. Wow, Mercury retrograde has been doing me so dirty this morning. Yeah, fourth time's a charm. This is literally, I think, the fourth time I've tried to start the stream, and luckily, everything is working right now. So thank you for everyone who's been hanging on and supporting me and telling me they can see me, they can't see me, what's playing, what's not. Just classic Mercury retrograde behavior right now. And if you're feeling that Mercury retrograde glitchiness too, whew, I'm right there with you. We only have a couple more days of this, but you're here, I'm here, we finally made it. Welcome to June. Holy moly, it's June. When did that happen? And we have some notable, very notable birthdays on June 1st, quite possibly the most notable person or one of the most notable people in history. Marilyn Monroe would have celebrated a birthday on June 1st. She was a Gemini. Heidi Klum, Morgan Freeman, Amy Schumer, all June 1st babies as well. Tom Holland. Alanis Morissette has a birthday on June 1st, and I love this. You can totally tell she's a Gemini when you listen to her lyrics. They're so complex, and just, she's an amazing lyricist. Who else? Andy Griffith has a birthday today. Lots of famous people born on June 1st. And if you have a birthday today, if someone you know has a birthday or is a Gemini, let us know in the comments so we can celebrate them too. All right, let's get into the forecast though, because it's taken us long enough to get here. Today we're talking more about Lilith, the black moon. And she's one of the heavy hitters of the day, as well as Venus and Mars, because yesterday Lilith squared off to Mars. So we talked a little bit about that in a shortened forecast yesterday. But essentially, Lilith squaring off to Mars kind of felt like this push-pull, this conflict between wanting to keep going, with Mars and Aries having this motivation, this drive to push forward. But Lilith in Cancer is all about our bodily needs. And listening to the body. If anything has been suppressed or ignored, it's going to rise up and almost like revolt when it comes to our body with Lilith in Cancer. And so you might have felt that. Even yesterday, I wrote in the forecast, it's a great day for a mid-afternoon nap. And so many people reached out to me saying, yeah, that's exactly what was in order for me too. And I myself took a mid-afternoon nap yesterday. So today, Lilith is forming a sextile to Venus, a little bit of a different energy, but let me show you what that looks like on our chart here. You can see Lilith is at 5 degrees in Cancer now, and Venus is at 4 degrees in Taurus. So once Venus hits 5 degrees, this happens later tonight, it's an exact sextile between Venus and Lilith. And Venus is the planet of love. It rules our affection, our ability to relate to other people. It's the planet of relationships. And so If there's anything that you feel like has been suppressed or ignored in relationships, that could come up today. But because this is a supportive angle, it's less of a conflict, it's less of a rebellion or an aggression or a frustration, and more of an awareness of our true desires. So that could come up for you today. Venus and Lilith, both these feminine energies, asking us to really go within and figure out what is it that we want and how are we getting it or not getting it. Anything that we've been ignoring can be realized if we slow down enough with Venus and Taurus to listen to the signals our body is sending us. And Lilith in Cancer supports that too, like really listening to the body. And you might notice there are little signals or pings that you've been ignoring from your body that can be realized today. The focus is so much on the body today with the moon in Cancer as well. So really try to lean into what feels good for you. And it could be as simple as asking what would feel good. Like, how often do you ask yourself or ask your body, what would feel good today? What can I do to support you today? Remember, your body is kind of its own entity, carrying your spirit. It's your vessel carrying you through this life. So not only is this a great day to ask, okay, what would feel good? How can I nurture myself? How can I make sure I'm listening to the signals my body is sending me? But also, Lilith, the black moon, just a brief little history lesson if you're not familiar with Lilith. Lilith in mythology and astrology, or mythology in the Bible, I should say, was Adam's first wife. She was created as an equal to Adam, and she didn't want to submit to Adam. She felt that she should be equal and hold just as much weight as Adam, right? And so she was cast aside and, kind of deemed this dark figure in history in the Bible. And then Eve was created out of Adam's rib. She was, I don't want to say lesser than, but a submissive to Adam. You know the story if you know anything about Christianity or the Bible. But anyway, I digress. In astrology, Lilith represents that part of us that wants to be expressed, that maybe has been oppressed, has been cast aside. And when we ignore it long enough, it's going to rise up in revolt. And with Lilith being in Cancer, it really is focused on emotions that we've been suppressing and things in our body that we've been suppressing, and those two things usually go hand in hand. So really listening to the signals from your body today can help you tap into that own powerful well within you, so you don't have to be as aggressive. Lilith is also kind of known as our bitch, our inner bitch. So this can come out in a we can be a little bitchy today with Lilith still so active. Just beware of that. Try not to be. I will also say the energy is very potent for seduction. With Venus and Taurus, the sign of sensuality, with Lilith and Cancer, the sign of our body, kind of this powerful energy within us. This is really supportive for bringing out that power in your relationships, tapping into that physical power in your body, and doing some tantric work, doing some sexual work with a partner. Like, this is supported today if that's on the agenda for you. And if you're not in a partnership, it's definitely supported for self-pleasure as well. And that can be a beautiful practice for tapping into your own power. Like, give your full permission slip. Today is a great day for pleasure. Whether self-pleasure, whether it's pleasure from another person, lean into pleasure, lean into the cravings your body has been trying to send you that maybe you haven't been paying attention to. So that's the main transit we're talking about today. We also have the moon in Cancer all day, and the moon has actually made all of its connections very early this morning. So first thing today, the moon squared off to Jupiter, then it formed a nice sextile to Venus, and then it formed a conjunction to Lilith over here and squared off to Mars. So it was kind of back to back to back. It was like 5 a.m., 7 a.m., 9 a.m. was when these transits were exact, bringing kind of this mashup of energy first thing in the morning. And how does this show up for us? Well, in general, when the moon is in Cancer, we really want to be comfortable. We want to be in our comfort zone. We like being at home or around family or people that we feel safe with. And we are really attuned to our emotions and our intuition with the moon in Cancer as well. So we can be more nurturing and caring of others, but also, you know, having that own internal knowing. Oh my gosh, you guys, Mercury retrograde. My words are like blah, jumbled. Anyway. When we're more tapped into our intuition, we are able to hear those signals from our body. We are able to figure out exactly what we need more easily. So it's almost like we have a direct line to that inner knowing with the moon in Cancer. Good food, cozy environments really nurture our soul. Like being comfortable, being at ease can allow those intuitive hits to come through more easily. And your home is just going to feel especially sweet today. Being at home, even cleaning your home, or as we're in the waxing phase of the moon, like getting your home ready, getting your space ready, getting your body ready for the next phase that we're going into under this new chapter after the new moon in Gemini. Okay, so the moon squared off to Jupiter at 5 a.m. Pacific time, starting the day with a burst of energy, giving us kind of this urge to reach for something to feel good or to jump right in to all the things we have to do today. This is a 90-degree angle, but anytime Jupiter is in a square like this, it's actually pretty beneficial, but it gives us a tendency to go over the top or overdo it or do too much. We're prone to excess. So we're generous, we're outgoing to start the day, we have energy, but we might overestimate how much energy we'll have by the end of the day. Then at 7 a.m., the moon formed a sextile to Venus. So like I said, it's kind of a big mashup of energy to start the day that we're like integrating throughout the day today. When the moon formed a sextile to Venus, we enjoyed being around other people. We're tapped into that pleasure, that sensuality with Venus in Taurus. This makes us more affectionate and loving towards other people. We're especially charming, and relationships can really flourish today with the moon forming a sextile to Venus. Every one of these transits I'm talking about can link back to pleasure and sensuality, every single one. And almost this carnal, intuitive need for pleasure, for connection today, for us to have our own needs met, if you know what I mean. And then the moon forms a conjunction to Lilith. So the moon is essentially just coming into all of the activation with Lilith today, with a little bonus square to Jupiter, giving us an extra burst of energy. But it's like the Cancer moon is bringing a really great awareness to everything that's been happening with Lilith. So you can see what we're feeling right now is this conjunction between the moon and Lilith and the square to Mars. That's kind of what we're carrying with us throughout the day. Now, this does make us a little bit more impulsive anytime the moon squares off to Mars. So again, it's like we want that quick fix. We want that easy thing to feel good. And when the moon forms a conjunction to Lilith as well, you know, it can bring up some insecurities. So Lilith being the dark moon, I didn't explain this, but Lilith essentially in our solar system is a point along the moon's path where it's farthest from the Earth. And so there's a lot of darkness associated with Lilith. It's kind of what's been hiding in the shadows, right? And when the moon forms a conjunction to Lilith, it's going to bring an emotional awareness today to what has been hiding in the shadows, what emotions you've been pushing down, what parts of your body that you haven't been listening to or paying attention to. And then with this square to Mars at the same time, it's like wanting that quick fix, wanting to do something about it. There's a distinctive need to protect our body, to protect our autonomy, to stand up for ourselves. That's really big under all of this energy today too. Standing up for things we believe in, standing up for ourselves, and we're quick to anger, aggression, frustration in the process. So really slowing down and aligning with our own values, aligning with our own desires before reaching to somebody else or something else to try to satiate that need is going to be really important. And you might have even already today, you know, woken up and wanted that sugary coffee or wanted to get a donut first thing in the morning or just, you know, wanted something to feel good. But I invite you to instead ask, what would really long-term make me feel good? What am I trying to appease right now? To like, why am I trying to feel good? Why am I not just waking up and feeling excited about life? Like, that's where the deep work is. That's what this conjunction between the moon and Lilith is. What are you trying to pacify? Use the nurturing energy of the Cancer moon to your benefit by finding healthier ways for your body, healthier ways for your mind to self-soothe, finding comfort in your own vessel, finding comfort in yourself, knowing that your body ultimately is your home that you carry with you wherever you go. So, it's easy to go through the Starbucks drive-thru. It's easy to DoorDash something, kind of tasty to you, whatever it is for you. But today's a great day to ask yourself, what does my body really need? What is my body really asking for? And how will it help me tap into my power more easily? By taking care of our body, we take care of our mind, and we're more tapped into our spirit, which is ultimately our power source, in my opinion. I literally just ate Dunkin' Donuts. My partner and I were this close to ordering some sugary coffee this morning, and we're trying to start a nutrition plan for the month of June. So luckily, we were able to reel it back in, knowing the astrological energy, and that's okay. It's also okay to treat yourself. It's also okay if, you did have the donut to be like, okay, I treated myself this morning, but why did I feel the need to like instantly have a donut, So it's just these questions to ask yourself. There's no good or bad. It's more about kind of being in tune with your actions, why you're making them, what lies beneath, right? What are our deeper motivations? My Lilith is in Capricorn along with my North Node and Sun. I feel like I understand that a little better now. Thank you. Oh, good. Yeah, and so you're coming into probably a Lilith opposition here. And it could be a moment for you personally where it's like this opposition is holding up a mirror to your shadows and holding up a mirror to the things that have been oppressed. So it could be for you a really powerful transit. Also, Lilith will be crossing over your South Node at some point and opposing your Sun, it sounds like. So this Lilith transit is really going to be powerful for you over the next few months, figuring out what has been hiding in the shadows. How can you use that? How can you tap into that power to, especially with this opposing your North Node too, it will help you understanding those deep parts of yourself, even your past lives, with it being near your South Node, can help you tap into your power and lean more into your purpose as you see yourself more clearly in this opposition. Love that for you. So yeah, today, like, the overview I can tell you is there's a lot to do with our body today. So really paying attention to the signals your body is sending you. Today is a beautiful day for pleasure and finding that internal power, paying attention to and shining light on the things, the feelings, the bodily urges you've been repressing, suppressing, ignoring. Today's the day to give those things space and to figure out, how am I maybe trying to slap a Band-Aid on these things? How am I ignoring these things? And once I have an awareness of these emotions or feelings I've been suppressing, how can I better self-soothe? How can I give myself what I need? How can I lean into safe relationships to feel good, right? This is all about reclaiming our power. Venus forming a sextile to Lilith, showing us that deeper desire for pleasure, for sensuality. It would be a great day for sensuality if you are in a safe place, whether that's with yourself or with someone else. Mars is still squaring off to Lilith too, so it's really bringing this aggression or almost rebellion to the forefront, making us really aware of what we want, our deep desires, our true needs that lie beneath all of the surface level urges, right? And the moon is in Cancer, bringing us into our intuition, into our body, making us more aligned with the emotions that are flowing through us constantly. And the Cancer moon asks us not only to be more nurturing of others, but also to nurture ourselves. So today's a day to listen to your body, nurture it, nurture your mind, nurture your soul, and nurture yourself on a deeper level. Nurture those things that you don't normally think about. Give them space, give them time to breathe, and allow them to rise up, allow them to become part of the conscious awareness that we're always tapped into rather than just hiding in the shadows all the time. Hopefully that was helpful. Lilith can feel a little bit convoluted sometimes. And, sometimes it's hard to apply because it is so individual. And collectively, I guess we can talk about this collectively too. Our own shadows as a collective could be revealed. Our own deeper needs as a collective could be revealed too with so much Lilith activation. I also want to point out that Mercury Stations direct on the 3rd, so that is on Friday, right? And right now, Mercury is coming into a square with Saturn and a sextile with Neptune. You can see when Mercury hits, well, it won't actually become exact because Mercury is slowing way down right now, which is why in these last few days of Mercury retrograde, it could feel especially retrograde-y, as we saw with today's live stream. And so just know that there's a lot of tension and confusion that we're dealing with Mercury retrograde right now. And it's going to feel like slow going, like we're kind of hitting speed bump after speed bump to keep it slow before Mercury Stations direct on Friday. So if you're feeling that, I am too. We're in it together. All right, let's go ahead and pull a card. I'm going to pull from the Cosmic Dancer Oracle today and see what other message needs to come through. This is your time, as always, to ask questions in the comments, ask questions of the universe that you want answered through this card pull. Let me know how Mercury retrograde and Lilith are treating you today, how this energy is showing up in your life. I would love to know. All right. Let's all just take one deep breath together. Here we go. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. What do we need to know? I love that we got this card. It says, create sacred space. Card number 32, create sacred space. It really feels like this, I don't know if you can see the drawing, but it's like a woman sitting in the middle of a pyramid in the middle of the cosmos. And it really feels like kind of going within. It feels like going into the shadows of ourselves, of our society, and figuring out what lies beneath, what's been in there, going into that sacred space to fully honor and listen to ourselves. Okay, here's what the guidebook says. Before you dance a sacred dance, you must choose a space lovingly dedicated to your divine purpose. Similarly, whatever it is you wish to have or experience is waiting in the wings until you make a place in your life for it to flourish. This card comes as a gentle reminder to create space in your life for the desires that are nearest and dearest to your heart. For example, if you yearn for a romantic relationship, have you made sure your home features places that are conducive to sharing life with a partner, such as a sensual bedroom or intimate dining area? Exactly what we've been talking about. If your goal is to become a professional dancer, do you have somewhere to practice, and have you scheduled time to dance? Make room for the divine to co-create with you. Your entire spiritual support system yearns to fill these intentionally open spaces in your life with beautifully granted wishes and delightfully realized dreams. Now is also a time to create sacred space in your home. You can do this by clearing clutter, cleansing the energy with aromatherapy, incense, or chimes, setting up an altar, or making design choices that encourage reflection and reverence every day. Ultimately, this includes anything that supports you and how you want to feel. The Sanskrit word for energy center at your heart area is Anahata, which translates to unstruck and relates to the element of air. If the manifest world is the sound of a drum, Anahata energy was there before there were drums or drummers to strike them. If the manifest world is fire, Anahata energy existed before any two sticks had been struck together to create a spark. This still, silent, unstruck energy eternally abides within your heart chakra and is at the very core of who you are. Create space in your body, mind, and spirit by sitting or standing comfortably with your spine straight. Okay, and then this goes into a whole, practice that you can do, which is wonderful, but we won't get into it. I love how this talked about creating sacred space in your home and that unstruck energy that really feels like Lilith in a lot of ways, that deep desire within us. And I just realized the card is backwards. How are we creating safe space in our bodies, safe space in our homes, so those desires can manifest? And in order to create that safe space for those things, we have to know what those desires are. And that's what Lilith is showing us today with this sextile to Venus. What are our deep, true desires that lie waiting in the shadows, like that Anahata energy, just waiting to be struck, waiting to be brought to life? That's what we want to tap into today with all of this Lilith energy. What are those urges and desires that you haven't given space to flourish yet? Amazing. I set up a home dance studio this morning. Okay. That's awesome. That's like one of my dreams, is to have a home dance studio. So I'm so excited for you. And what perfect energy to get in there and tap into your own intuitive movement, that Lilith energy, that power within you through dance. You guys know dance is one of my favorite ways to express and to be with myself and to find pleasure with myself too. That's something we talked a lot about today. So aligned for you. I love that. All right, everyone. I hope that you find some time today for yourself. I hope you find some time to tap into that innate desire within you that maybe you haven't given enough space to thrive yet, or maybe you've just sort of lost touch with it. Remember that you have everything you need within you to fulfill your own desires, to find pleasure in life. And sometimes all it takes is the space, that sacred space that we create for us to listen and to let those things come to fruition and to breathe. And the affirmation of the day I want to end with is, I find security in my body. I find security in my body. Today is a really great day to just be with your body and let that be enough. Let that be enough under the Cancer moon. All right. Thank you so much for being here with me today, for showing up in the comments, for sticking with me through all the tech glitches. I appreciate you. I love you. I will see you right back here tomorrow morning to talk about the transits. And if you found this video helpful, please go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. We are slowly inching our way towards 1,000 subscribers so we can finally monetize, keep these videos coming to you for free every single day. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you right back here tomorrow morning. Fingers crossed Mercury retrograde cooperates. And until I see you next, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.